Check out our new mobile game, Knockout. You can play and test your knowledge of the day's matches against other viewers across the UK every day. At the end of our last live game, today's quiz starts at 6. You could win a cash prize, and best of all, it's completely free. You must be 18 or over, and you can download it using this QR code, or simply download Knockout ITV Sport from your app store now. So Cristiano Ronaldo about to become one of only 5 men to play in the Men's World Cup 5 times. Messi's in there, Mateus is in there, so we give him longevity as well, that is for sure. And plenty of Portuguese support in here this evening, and some have even given up their job to come and watch Ronaldo try and win the World Cup. We haven't talked about Bruno Fernandes, we talked about Bernardo Silva. No one doubts his ability. Occasionally, do you think his on-field histrionics would annoy his own teammates?
Yeah, I think so. He's gotten into 1 or 2 bad habits, and again, big stage for him. So much talent. He is a quality player. I do like watching him, but he's got into this habit of putting his arms up in the air and pointing at people, and he needs to go up another level. He's got this opportunity, of course, with Portugal, but I'm always wanting more from him. But in terms of talent, he's got loads of it.
He's got all the ability he needs. He appears to have the right attitude when it comes to apologising to supporters when it doesn't go well, and being brave enough to get in front of the camera. That's admirable. But the thing he has to get to go to another level, the thing he has to get out of his game is what Roy's talking about. I'm not sure how we would have dealt with him if we had played.
I think we can guess.
Yeah, but I mean that
Joe, I think we can guess.
That would be taken out of him on the training ground. I mean, you would have him up against the wall. Another thing I don't like, when he's in possession, he's pointing where you should be moving to. Just play the ball, son. Just, get on with it. But holding your hands up and shrugging your shoulders when someone doesn't pass you, I don't think...
This could be a fascinating game.
You don't get top players doing that.
Yeah. Fascinating game. There's bearing in mind, Joe, the other game finished 0-0 in the group as well. There's this sense of an openness to the World Cup.
That's open. This group is going to be a tight group, and that draw in the first game, makes Portugal be thinking we could set a marker here, because the Uruguay game is going to be a real tough one for them. I'm interested in the clash of styles. I really am, and that's what you love at the World Cup. The African teams with their power, their pace, and against this Portuguese team, which I think they're going to, like I said, I think they're going to try and dominate the ball, which isn't their natural way of playing. They tend to drop off, so it's going to be an interesting one.
Very quickly, Roy, whatever you think about him, to admire Ronaldo's longevity is fair enough, isn't it?
That's the name of the game. These guys are under pressure week in, week out, and generally speaking, they step up to the plate. That's why they're great players, and we're lucky to be watching them. And I fully expect, and I hope, Ronaldo steps up to the plate over the next week or two, and again, show everybody, if they're in any doubt, he's one of the greatest players of all time.
That's why he is one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. Because you have to factor in the consistency, the quality of the consistency. Consistent, I said that right. He's just been there for so long, doing it at the highest level, making a difference in so many big games. And he's still doing it. And I think you'll see lots of that, but not as much of it in this World Cup.
Lots to look forward to. Let's join our commentators for this match this evening, Ali McCoist and John Champion.
This is, of course, a team sport. But inevitably, as we've been discussing in studio, the initial focus today is on one particular individual. Of the 800+ players at this World Cup, only one is currently listed as unattached, FIFA speak for without a club. And that man has taken the field to make his entrance at what we anticipate will be his last global tournament. A proper sense of occasion here. Wherever and whenever Ronaldo is involved, sport is also theatre.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able for the national anthem of Portugal.
أصحاب السمو والمعالي، السيدات والسادة، برجاء الوقوف إن أمكن للنشيد الوطني لمنتخب البرتغال.
And now, please remain standing for the national anthem of Ghana.
برجاء البقاء واقفين للنشيد الوطني لمنتخب غانا.
Portugal starting as clear favourites here, and kick-off is coming up next.
Who's going to tell her the first half's already finished? And that's why KFC Delivery sponsors ITV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup.
Football's more than a game in Arabia. It's a feeling. Anticipation, excitement, exhilaration. To feel even more, visit Saudi Arabia. More thrilling, more spectacular, more authentic, more adventurous. Feel more from the home of Arabia. Visit Saudi.
Get your kicks on Just Eat. Have it, have it, have it. Matchtime meal deals on Just Eat. We got it.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
And it all comes down to this one single moment.
All the feelings of football, sponsored by Google Pixel 7.
If you ever needed reminding that this World Cup is different, welcome to the charmingly named Stadium 974, built of those shipping containers, named after a dialing code and temporary in every respect. To the teams, Portugal come to the World Cup without the injured Jota and Neto. They open with 3 players from Manchester City. 1, it would until Tuesday have been 2 from Manchester United and 1 from Wolves. João Felix, the 4th most expensive player in history, but yet to take flight. They have plenty of strength on their bench. Dialing code. The toss of the coin conducted by American match official Ismail Elfaf, born in Casablanca, Morocco, resident these days in Austin, Texas. Ghana have recently played with a back 4, but they experimented with 3 centre-halves in the second half of a friendly against Brazil in September, and now we know why. Salisu of Southampton, Leicester's Amati play in front of the country's 3rd-choice goalkeeper. Injuries have hit Ghana hard in that particular position. Thomas Partey anchors the midfield, and they've recruited Spanish-born Iñaki Williams to lead their line. So, approaching 7 p.m. local time, a warm evening in the only stadium at this tournament without air conditioning. Normally, Ronaldo positions himself at the rear of the team line when they emerge. Last to see the flashlights, last to hear the roar. Today, as captain, he was required to be at the front. And this on the night that he becomes part of that select band of players to appear at 5 World Cups. Portugal in the red and olive green, Ghana the white. Partisan support. And Portugal getting us underway on a night, Ali McCoist, where inevitably the focus has fallen on one man, but that is to do scant justice to the rest of the Portugal team, and of course Ghana, who've done very well to get here after a very poor Africa Cup of Nations.
Absolutely, John. Good evening, everyone. Really looking forward to it. You're spot on with your assessment. Ghana ranked 61 in the world. I'll be very surprised if they put in a poorer performance in Costa Rica, or indeed the home nation Qatar. I'm expecting a little bit more from them. But again, the focus clearly on Ronaldo, and, you know, justifiably so, and certainly his teammates. It is, strangely enough, an even bigger night than expected for Ronaldo. He'll be looking to impress clearly. as he's a free agent.
Which is a remarkable thing to say.
Unbelievable.
So we'll chart the progress this evening. An impression made by someone who temporarily at least is an unemployment statistic. Here's Ruben Dias. To the left back, Rafa Guerreiro. Plenty of previous tournament experience in the Portuguese ranks. 10 of these players at the last World Cup. Ghana didn't make 2018. First raw for Ronaldo, and his first contribution is a foul.
Yep, very uncharacteristic. Takes a heavy touch there. Won't be too impressed with his coach, that Fernando Santos, but yeah, it's amazing to think you're talking about earlier on there, John. I mean, the focus, there's one or two things I think we're looking at conversations between him and Fernandes when they met up and all that kind of stuff. I didn't buy into that at all. Clearly, and reading the reports, particularly from Fernando Santos, who I've just mentioned there, they haven't even mentioned it. The Portuguese squad haven't even mentioned Ronaldo's situation, other than they're here to do a job for the country, as you would expect. Some things are, bigger than individual situations, even in Ronaldo's case.
Portugal come here in not the best of form. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games in the UEFA Nations League in Switzerland and against Spain.
First thing I would say, tactically looking at it, Ghana, they're going with 2 up front. Ewan Williams have taken the position as 2 main strikers, so with a 5-3 in the middle, Kudos being a little bit deeper on the left-hand side, and the midfield 3, and as I say, the 2 main strikers.
Surprised at the 3 at the back. It's
Yes.
had very, very little practice in the warm-up games.
That's for sure. I think they won the last warm-up game with a 2-0 victory against Switzerland. However,
using a back 4.
Yeah, this is the real. I don't have any doubt they'll obviously practice it and the build-up and the training and things like that. But this obviously now is the real deal.
They arrived in the stadium in typically jaunty fashion. They have this wonderful tradition where the players dance and sing their way off the bus.
Good race that.
Given. Fernandes is going to leave the corner to Rafa Guerreiro. Tavio.
Yeah, he snatched it a little bit, didn't he? You could see it came to him. Looked good enough to hit, but he's just a little bit quick with it.
The supporters here in considerable numbers. Overall, the stadium, as has become the pattern of this World Cup. I mean, are we saying half full? Maybe a tad more?
Tad more. Well, you and I were commenting on it 15 minutes prior to kick-off, thinking there'd have to be a serious influx of supporters. It certainly has filled up to a certain degree, but nothing like full capacity.
Seydou will take this throw. They'll have the youngest squad at this World Cup, which has also been the case at their previous 3 World Cups. Martin. Cancelo. Bruno Fernandes. Ruben Neves. Felix taking a hand. Finding Kudus. who's caught in possession by Neves.
It's amazing that actually 5 minutes gone, you and I had a conversation beforehand talking about Kudus, and I just think he's a little bit better in forward areas. I mentioned to you, I've seen him a few times. I think he fancies himself as a midfield player. I'm not so sure. I think he'll develop into a centre forward, certainly more of a forward type player. And he just got caught a bit short there.
Wayward ball by Bruno Fernandes. Just coming back to Mohamed Kudus. There's been a big spotlight on him leading up to this game. He made a few comments in which he was perceived to have compared himself to Neymar. He was quick to retract those. But he scored a couple of beautiful goals in the Champions League this year. One against Rangers, one against Liverpool.
No, he could finish. I don't think there's any doubt about that, John. There's a talent there. His goal against Rangers in particular was a magnificent strike with his left foot and off the far post. And you're correct to mention the goal against Liverpool. I don't think he's short of confidence. I think his interviews, he's probably a media man's dream, to be honest with you. Not shy, but I think he can back it up. Miles away from the finished article, but I think he can back it up.
Portugal seeing more of the ball in the early stages here. This is Cancelo, Danilo. Otavio. Danilo.
Yeah, he's just about to turn into trouble there, wasn't he? I think he ended up making a good decision.
Conundrum here for Portugal, Ali, in a sense, in that you would think against the lowest ranked team, given all the talent in the Portuguese squad, it would serve them well to be on the front foot, but that's not their approach under Fernando Santos.
No, and it's understandable a little bit, because you can get carried away and look at things. I mean, again, I go back to these world rankings, which I don't think do themselves justice. Ghana are 61 and Iran are 20.
It's Kudus.
I rest my case here.
Today there's actually a bigger gap between these teams in these now totally discredited FIFA World Rankings after your previous comment than there was between Argentina and Saudi Arabia. Ruben Neves. Bruno Fernandes. Cancelo. Abdou Salem. Thomas Partey. Heavy touch by Kudus. It's a chance, it's Ronaldo. It's a brave save by Ati Ziggy.
Just a heavy touch again. Mentioned to you, John, not for the first time, Kudus in that area there. I'm not sure he's 100% comfortable. I'm really not. Mile onside. The touch from Ronaldo isn't where he wanted it. He could cut him a little bit of slack, say it's just behind him, the pass, but the ball's fired into him. He takes a slightly heavy touch. Goalkeeper does really well. Ati Ziggy comes out on him straight away. But you've got to say, that's a big chance for him.
Is that rustiness? I mean, he's played 16 times for Manchester United, but only 4 Premier League starts.
Do you know something, John? The fact is we don't know. It's an obvious thing to say it's rustiness. It's an obvious thing. However, he's one of the best players, arguably, well, without doubt, it's ever been. So I would be surprised if it was rustiness.
You accusing me of stating the obvious?
No, I wouldn't do that to you, my friend.
I think you just have.
Not with only 10 minutes gone.
Salisu. Rahman, playing for Reading at the moment on loan from Chelsea. Otaviano was caught late.
Well, mentioning Kudus there, John, it's a funny one because Graham in the studio, I would imagine, would back me up here. Forward players back in more defensive areas isn't necessarily a good thing.
It's Daniel Amati. Andre Ayew. Just for a second, Iñaki Williams was available ahead of him. They've been busy casting their recruitment net far and wide. Iñaki Williams, even though he'd previously played for Spain. Born in Bilbao of Ghanaian parentage. Tarek Lamptey, who's on the bench, has committed as well. Here's João Felix. Bernardo Silva. Otavio.
Brilliant.
Neat from Portugal. Forcing a Ghanaian scramble that yields a Portuguese corner.
Oh, it's all one touch. Everything's one touch. It was amazing. It was just kind of slow, one-touch play. Everybody's taking care of the ball, then bang.
And Ghana were asleep at the corner, and up goes Ronaldo.
Oh, you fancied them, didn't you? You really fancied them. That's almost his trademark. Lovely delivery in, he just stands it up at the back post. Oh, what a chance that is for him. For anybody, but particularly for him. He just, I don't know, does he take his eye? He kind of turns his head at the last minute rather than meeting it with the forehead. He kind of turns his head a little bit, John. What a chance. Two big chances inside 13-12 minutes.
Kudus. Guerrero.
There's an excellent ball in there from Guerrero. As I said, just hung up at the back post area, John. And you really fancied him, didn't you?
The last of the 5 African teams to take to the field at this World Cup. The other 4 failed to score. Bruno Fernandes. Effortlessly to Guerrero. Otavio. Andre Ayew is fouled.
Brilliant there from Kudus. Not giving Otavio 1 second in the ball, come back inside him, didn't give up. Nicked it off him.
Ayew. Seydou. Williams stretching.
It's a good ball. Salisu, lovely ball in. Just half a yard in front of Iñaki Williams.
Danilo for Portugal. Of Ghana's start.
Yeah, solid enough. Yeah, I haven't seen much of them as an attacking force yet, John, but as you'd expect, solid enough. 3 centre-backs, 2 wider lads to make up the 5. Haven't really been troubled at all, certainly in wider areas. That said, Ronaldo's had 2 good opportunities.
Both these nations had precarious routes to the World Cup. Ultimately qualifying thanks to an away goal scored by Thomas Partey against Nigeria in a 2-leg playoff. Portugal thought they'd made it and then conceded stoppage time in their final qualifier to Serbia. Also Alexander Mitrovic that sent the Serbs here and Portugal into a 2-game playoff. They beat Turkey and North Macedonia. João Cancelo. Sorted out for Ghana by Kudus.
Just a little one-tidy there, wasn't it? Good run forward there from Partey. Babar Ahmed should be doing better with the pass. Tidy enough football from the Ghanaians.
Doing considerably better than they did in their last World Cup opener in 2014 when they conceded to the USA after 29 seconds. Their involvement in the tournament, a goal by Clint Dempsey, which remains the 5th fastest in World Cup history.
And the quickest?
Always full of these questions, aren't you? Hakan Suka, 11 seconds, Turkey against South Korea 2002. Do it for you?
2 points.
You're the quiz maestro. Cancelo. Ruben Diaz.
I'm looking at Ronaldo when the ball's in wider areas and just kind of midfield. He's particularly in wider areas. John, he's kind of drifted to back post areas. He's kind of not loath to get involved, but he's more positioning himself for a finish rather than taking part in the game.
Are you seeing a markedly different Ronaldo then with your practiced eye?
Well, he's not. I can understand it. He's not. He is the main goal threat. Let's be brutally honest about it. And from that point of view, you wouldn't want to be doing an awful lot of work outside the box. And that seems to be what he's doing, which is understandable. It's not a criticism. It's understandable.
Ruben Neves. Rafa Guerreiro. Referee blows for a Portuguese free kick. Underway with Uruguay and South Korea failing to produce a goal.
Not a bad game that, saw most of it. A couple of good efforts from Uruguay, particularly Valverde, who hit the post with great effort.
Ghana themselves admit they are the rank outsiders in this group. And coach Otto Addo said he didn't fear the other teams. He did add a rider, though, to say it was going to be extremely difficult against Portugal.
Yeah. The fact he's saying that would indicate that A, he knows it, and B, he doesn't mind it. It might be suiting him, actually.
Otavio.
I think it's important to mention he won't be telling his team that.
He doesn't need to if he said it in the newspapers, does he?
Yeah, but my point is you were telling the team something else.
Williams. Ayew. Seydoux. Abdul Salem. Amati. Runs favourably for Kudus. And Cancelo has to cover in front of Williams.
He played it with the wrong foot. I think he should have played it early, a split second early with his right foot. Thinking Jacob Williams might have been in there. I saw what he tried to do, let it through him.
Otavio.
See, it didn't work, but that's where he's wanting it. He's wanting that ball. Young Felix saw Ronaldo, he kind of drifted between the two defenders there into that kind of back post area, which he normally likes. Clearly the delivery wasn't good enough, but you saw the intent.
Santos, 35-year coaching career, beyond 1,000 games now, more matches in charge of Portugal than any other manager in their history.
Yeah, he knows his way over the course, doesn't he?
You get the impression that some of that bank of credit that he built up for winning Euro 2016 has now been eroded after consecutive round of 16 exits. The contract for 2 more years after this.
Yeah. I think you're probably right, but I don't think he's the type that would bask in that circumstance and that glory anyway.
João Felix.
Clever play, isn't it? Just puts his body between the ball and the defender. There's a free kick from Neves.
Here's Otavio. Teams in this group paired with the section of the draw that has Brazil and Switzerland and Cameroon lurking. Serbia too, of course. And it's through towards Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Good run for Fernandes. First time Ronaldo went a little bit deeper. Defender goes with him, space in behind him. Fernandes exploited it, a little bit unlucky.
Portuguese probing. There's been a few moments of alarm for the goalkeeper Atizigi. That one save from Ronaldo accepted.
Probably the biggest surprise he wasn't troubled at all with the header at the back post. That's the biggest surprise for me.
Yes.
You see the free kick. Shows an awful lot in that, to tell you the truth. By that I mean nothing.
Danilo. Bernardo Silva. Ruben Neves, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo's touch, referee plays advantage. Guerrero, put away by Amati to Ayew.
Sounds like I'm on his case a little bit, but again, I don't think that's a bad ball into Kudus. I just think he backs off and allows the defender in to take it from him.
Danilo fouled. Efforts of Ghana, which have yielded Tariq Lamptey from Brighton, Andy Williams from Athletic Club Bilbao. They also tried for Eddie Nketiah of Arsenal. They had a word with Callum Hudson-Odoi at Chelsea as well.
Absolutely, why wouldn't you?
Jiku. Cancelo. Felix preparing to jump. It's beyond him. That isn't.
What a brilliant ball that is. He should be doing better there, João Felix. That is a brilliant ball into him from that man there. Just picks him out in the edge of the box. First time we've seen Cancelo go down the right-hand side. Guerrero's certainly been the more attacking so far of the full-backs the Portuguese side, but he certainly went down the right-hand side, got a good delivery in. Bernardo Silva put João Felix out, and he should have done better, leaning back a little bit in the final effort.
Salisu. Iñaki Williams. Rahman. Abdul Salem. Partey. They're really not seeing very much of the ball at all. Baba Rahman. The adjustment by Ruben Dias. Salisu. Bernardo Silva. Bruno Fernandes. In situations like that, Portugal do have the players to profit, but that was nipped in the bud.
Yeah, I think he just nutmegs him. Stands up. Blocks him, obstructs him a little bit here. There you are, yeah. Oh, don't mind him. And he just blocks him. Which effectively you would do if somebody nutmegs you like that.
Creators-in-chief Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes discussing this. Ronaldo jockeying for a central position. Bruno Fernandes. Seydu. Here's Amati. Ronaldo, clever use of his body, but it was a foul, and that will not count. Which is going to come as news to 20,000 or so who thought that it would, and you never know in this day and age, it might still.
First thing I've got to say is the finish is brilliant. Now, does he lean into him? There. Oh, tell you what, I'll be looking for it. I'll be looking for the goal. There's a slight nudge, there's no getting away from it, a slight nudge, enough to give a free kick. The referee thought so. And he's the most important one. tell you what was impressive, the end finish.
Kudus. João Felix, very tightly marked, too tightly marked by Martin.
Yeah, that was a tough one. What did you think? Just enough for a free kick?
I thought just enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the forearm did go into the opponent's body.
It's amazing, really, when you think about it. We're into the game, John, 30 minutes. It hasn't been electric or anything like it. The three main talking points, Ronaldo's been involved in a lot.
It's one of those situations where Ronaldo gives his own free kick, isn't it, with his body language, and the referee feels compelled to react. Was clearly impeded.
That's just the back there what I was saying. It's amazing. I say the game's been relatively quiet. Relatively quiet. And he could certainly have a couple of goals.
Portugal, Bruno Fernandes. And a fairly important header by Andre Ayew.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he knows it himself, because he didn't really know what was going on behind him. Vital header, that's a win.
Otavio.
I don't think it's a ball at all. I don't think it's a cross. It's floated in, which isn't ideal. I think the Portuguese attackers were looking for a ball played in a lot more pace there. Lower trajectory.
Abdou Salam. His club football in France with Lens. Andre Ayew winning it back illegally. Portugal free kick.
Yeah, just a little desperate here to win back possession after he lost it from João Felix.
Ayew's now, after stints in the Premier League, playing here in Qatar, in the Qatar Stars League for Al Sadd. Teammate of Santi Cazorla. Ruben Diaz. Cristiano Ronaldo. Kudus. Salisu. Being played in the first ever temporary stadium at a World Cup.
Well, you mentioned it before the game. It's a bizarre setup, actually, isn't it?
It is. Surrounded by shipping containers.
Yeah.
Uruguay are bidding to be part of the hosting group for World Cup 2030, and they put in a bid for the containers. They want to build a replica of this stadium if they win the bid.
Easy enough to ship over, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's not far. Otavio. João Felix. Bruno Fernandes. It's Otavio's shot.
Yeah, he gets his half yard, gets his shot away. Certainly not going to trouble Akizigi there. Got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed down the right-hand side here from Portugal. I was definitely looking for more from the likes of Cancelo and Fernandes. I know
that looks about a play, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a corner.
It's still relatively early in the game. I appreciate that, but certainly most of Portugal's better stuff has been down the left-hand side with Guerrero and João Felix. Luciano's got forward once, put a good delivery in, looking for a little bit more from him.
I've got this image in my mind of 974 shipping containers mid-Atlantic at the moment. Ghana's first corner, and they need to nominate someone to take it. It's not going to be Seydou.
Now, if I'd seriously been doing my homework, I could have given you the travelling time for a cargo ship. Just would have let myself down a little bit between here and Uruguay.
We're back here later in the week. There's your challenge. It's Kudus. It's met by Ruben Neves, and it can come back from a different angle. It was a good, in fact, a far better ball in.
Yeah, excellent delivery second time around. Again, another good defensive header from that man there, Fernandes. A good cross from Kudus.
It's the view of Baba Rahman. Cristiano Ronaldo, and then it's Seydou. Finally the whistle goes after some contact that left Danilo on the ground.
Yep. Good header away there from Ronaldo. It's one of the hardest ones to take, this leaning back half on the volley. It's not really get going yet, the game, John. It's kind of, you know, stop-start. It's, let's say Portugal clearly have the better opportunities with the Ronaldo efforts, but I'm not sure that they've been entirely happy with the performance, to be honest.
Guerrero. Cancelo. Kudus will pursue, but Danilo had a good head start. Ruben Neves.
Again, it's an intelligent run. Not for the first time. I've seen Ronaldo drop. Marca go with him. Fernandes go over the top. Just the pace of the ball for the second time running. Not correct.
Portugal lining up here for the restart. The goal kick intent on stopping Ghana from playing out from the back. Immediately the ball is back in their possession.
Yeah, that's you see why there.
With Cancelo. Guerrero. João Felix. Committed clearance by Jiku. Kudus. Iñaki Williams. Rahman.
So gave it to Partey earlier, John. Allowing the Portuguese to get back in numbers.
Otavio. the middle was João Felix. And now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Give and go. Ronaldo on the block by Amati.
Brilliant ball again from Bernardo Silva. First touch out into the space where Ronaldo was.
Bruno Fernandes. Beyond Ronaldo. Now it's at Ronaldo's feet. João Felix going in and committing a foul. There have been quite a few nearly moments for the great man.
I think Ronaldo switches off here when the ball goes over his head. João Felix is coming in behind him. Good delivery in. He does, he switches off. Completely switches off. Doesn't know he's behind him. And then he's all off balance. No real excuse for that. He clearly wasn't aware that João Felix is behind him, so see his body language there, completely switched off. Stays switched on, he's got a chance.
Talking about the stadium a little earlier, of course the other reason it's called the 974 is it's the dialing code for Doha. Actually, you may not know that, having just lost your Qatari phone, I understand, 6 hours after it was first put into your possession.
That's poor. It really is.
In what way?
Sharing that with the nation. I might as well tell you the full story. I hadn't even taken it out of the box. And it is a record for me, that 6 hours.
Search party still out there. João Felix. Bruno Fernandes. João Felix. Was Ayew leaning in? The referee says no.
I thought he was a little bit unlucky not to have a free kick there. The lovely feet. Lovely feet.
That was your man Kudus.
Yeah.
To João Felix. Bernardo Silva. João Cancelo. Cancelo.
Good delivery in. Tucked in a little bit of pace. It's behind everybody.
Ruben Neves. Cancelo, Otavio.
It's been a nearly story first 45 minutes for Portugal. He just gets that all wrong, doesn't he? He's trying to hang that up at the back post. Otavio gets it all wrong. As I say, they've certainly had the better chances. A little bit more clinical. They probably, well, not probably, definitely should be getting in ahead. But I'm not sure, like I said earlier, I'm not sure they've really got going. I'm not sure they've fully deserved it, John.
It's Ruben Dias. You can hear a very audible yelp from Cancelo. Kudus has his name taken. First booking of this game.
Yeah, definite free kick. I'm actually not. I'm not 100% sure it warranted that yelp right now. I think it's a surprising 2 minutes added time in this current day and age. Not an awful lot, is it?
I'm confused. Tangle involving João Felix. Seydou.
Yeah, not the first race they've had so far this first half. As I said, it's a good contest, pace-wise.
thoughts on the half overall?
Yeah, you know, Portugal will be very disappointed that man there hasn't taken any of his chances, and they've been good ones. Probably the best for me, and it's up for debate, would be the header, just because we've seen him so many times hang about that back post. He gets up well, and it should be a straightforward head, but I don't know why he turns his head. But the fact of the matter is, they haven't been great. They haven't been great at all. And Otto Addo and Ghanaian side will be delighted at nothing each. Very much still in the game, don't worry about that.
Here's Ruben Diaz. And now Bruno Fernandes and João Cancelo. Stuck to their task, which has been one of largely defiance and defensive organisation, and so Portugal, from their perspective, frustratingly reach half-time goalless. Cristiano Ronaldo has had a couple of chances, should probably scored at least one of them, but a combination of wayward finishing and fine goalkeeping by Ati Ziggy has kept the score sheet blank. We'll get the views of Roy Keane, Graham Souness and Joe Cole with Mark in a couple of minutes' time. But half-time at Stadium 974 in Doha, goalless between Portugal and Ghana.
Nil-nil at half-time here as an emotional Cristiano Ronaldo embarks on his 5th World Cup. He's had a couple of chances, and he's also had a disallowed goal in that first half. It's 0-0 between Portugal and Ghana at Stadium 974. What have you made of the chances that he has had, Ronaldo? Would you expect him to have done a little bit better?
Yeah, he'd be disappointed. Of course he will be with the quality he's got. Obviously got the big build-up. He knows how to score goals, and the chances he had. First one, I think, was a great chance. Again, to win it back high up the pitch, as you'd expect in there. And this is maybe maybe slightly behind him, but I still think, obviously, with his quality, a better first touch. Credit to the goalkeeper, he's obviously come out and done well, but with his quality, he'd be disappointed. And of course, he's had a great chance here with the header. How many times over the years, his timing, he's above the defender, and just kind of missed the flight right at the end of it.
Yeah, he can still lead, can't he, Graham?
He's got that, obviously. It's just. And this, listen, I think he's unlucky. I think the defender's done well to go down to win the free kick. He finishes it well, but the defender's done well to win that foul. But a bit unlucky.
I know with the header, you expected him to score that, didn't you?
Yeah, normally he does. The only thing I can think's happened is he's let the number 4, the defender, his knees on him, and maybe he's just knocked himself off balance, because this is a food and drink chance for him. It really is. Look. With the collision, does it make his head? Does it put it in the wrong place? Because it's sat up beautifully. It's got a chance to run at it. You're thinking this has got goal written all over it. We've seen it 100 times.
Still got that leap, hasn't he?
Oh, how athletic is that? Yeah. Still got that.
We're talking about the leap of Ronaldo. Must talk about the discipline of Ghana. They really are in their shape and sticking to it, aren't they?
Otto Addo be delighted. They haven't been anything of an attacking force. What they have done is they've been diligent, they've been disciplined, and what they've done is they've condensed the park in the middle, so Bernardo Silva can't get on the ball, Bruno Fernandes can't get on the ball, but there's not enough runners from Portugal, and Portugal have helped them out, but they've been disciplined and they've kept them at bay. I imagine the Portuguese will probably be thinking second half Nuno Mendes to give them some penetration down the left, Rafael Leao, but if Ghana will be absolutely delighted with their first 45 minutes work, because they're keeping them at bay.
It's been easier for them. They need a bit more width. Portugal, what they also need is someone who can dribble, skip past someone, then the next defender has to come out, and then what happens beyond that is open. They need someone who can commit someone. At this time, they're just playing in front of Ghana.
The reason they're sitting in it is because they're fearful and they have respect of the opposition. In Portugal, definitely better players. But they've got to do more with it. They've got to pass it quicker. We've mentioned it here. They've got to have runners. For Ghana, it's been easy. I think we could have played out there. But you've got to get at them. Quick play. Portugal have been too slow. They have the quality, but it's not good having the quality unless you're going to show it. Guarantee the manager was saying, lads, quicker to passes, 1-2s. Nobody running off the ball. They've got too many players all wanting to come and play and be nice with it. You need someone running in just to mix the game up a little bit.
And then you just start to move the pieces around, don't you? And then there's a knock-on effect.
If you're playing against Portugal tonight, you're delighted because you're seeing there are 11 players there all the time. There's no real dart in behind. They have to play a bit more risky football, basically, Portugal. You know, someone has to skip past someone. I expect them to be different in the second half.
Leao, we talked about before the game. Maybe Felix, who's been a little bit swallowed up, hasn't he, in the defence?
He's been inactive. I'll give him a big build-up, but I mean, Rafael Leao's the one for me. I watched him play for AC Milan in the Champions League, and he can drive past Graham's right. You need someone who can commit someone, and then all of a sudden the shape changes. Ghana are not comfortable. They haven't got the 5. Spaces open up. And then when you get Bruno Fernandes, they can find Ronaldo.
And people say when your teams are that low block, it's tough to break down. It's not. It's not. If you do things properly and show your quality, they've not shown their quality even with the end product, but they've just got
to do it properly and quickly. Is that the key?
Of course, that's the name of the game. Slow, and quick in around the box. And when they've done it once or twice, they've looked a lot more dangerous.
Ghana haven't had a touch in the Portuguese penalty area so far. It's 0-0 in this game, but there have been plenty of goals elsewhere, so the World Cup competition pot should be getting bigger.
Time now for your chance at home to win an amazing £30,000 and an extra goal-busting bonus. Every goal scored during the tournament will add an extra £250 to the £30,000 prize pot. Count up the goals and count up that jackpot. For your chance to win, just go to the website. Entries cost £2. Text GOAL to 80567. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate message. Or post your name and number to GOAL22. PO Box 7558, Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrants must be 18 or over. Paid entry routes close at 10 a.m. on Monday the 9th of January. Good luck.
Tomorrow night, join us 6:05 on ITV1 for the big match in Group B, England against the USA. Roy will be back with Gary Neville and Ian Wright for that tomorrow evening. Well, Portugal and Ghana do guarantee the most vibrant colours in the World Cup, that's for sure. But the football is possibly not to everybody's liking this evening. Oh, no, I'm trying to stay awake, honestly. But it is 0-0, and I need something to wake me up. And the emphasis will have to be on Portugal, Joe.
Yeah, they have to take the game to Ghana. They need like Rafael Leao, like I said, Nuno Mendy, just commit someone. And I wouldn't imagine it will take more than 10-15 minutes before, if they don't make a change at half-time.
Need a dribbler. Need to go. Right now, they're playing in front of Ghana. They'll be happy with that. But once you go past someone, if someone can skip past someone, then it causes chaos further down the line. That's what they need.
It's been frustrating watching it. I'm getting quite angry with it. Just speed things up, pass it quicker, more movement, liven up.
Liven up as we go back to Ali McCoy and John Champion.
Thank you, Mark. Maybe Rafael Leao is the man in the second half, Ali, from a Portuguese perspective, the player from Milan. He could liven things up.
Yeah. Absolutely, I thought he might have started, considering himself a little bit unlucky not to start. I thought he might have started in the left-hand side. Scorer of the quickest goal in Serie A's history.
You have done some research.
I have, John.
Despite the rising tide of Roy Keane's anger in the studio, no substitutions at this stage.
Thankfully, no penalty claims in the first half either.
No, I've been doing a bit of research as well. That very subject. We'll come to that when we've got an opportunity.
Good man. No, but I think the boys are right, aren't they? They're all right. They've been very, you know, they've been not so much casual, but no real energy. Roy's spot on in the Portuguese performance so far this evening. No real high energy.
Here is Otavio as they perhaps seek to change that. On this occasion, a goal kick is given, and Portugal, led by Cristiano Ronaldo, incandescent, suggesting it should have been a corner.
We're just about to find out, aren't we? Yeah, probably would have given a corner there. I can understand how the referee didn't see it right enough. But I mentioned earlier, first half, John, I've been disappointed in Portugal, particularly in the right-hand side.
Bernardo Silva. It's Bruno Fernandes off that right-hand side. And there's further disappointment.
Just trying to thread a ball in that's not really on.
Guerrero. João Felix. Ruben Neves. Bernardo Silva. Pass that Cancelo wouldn't have thanked him for.
Yeah, for him it was a poor ball.
Daniel and Martin. Miserable start to the year, one of their worst ever performances at the Africa Cup of Nations when they were beaten by Comoros, ranked 129th in the world.
It cost the manager his job, didn't it?
Did. You researched that as well.
Yeah.
Milan Rajovic was sacked. There were discussions in the Federation which led to reports that Chris Hughton might get the job. He was on holiday in Ghana with his family at the time. It was given to Otto Addo, who's also an assistant to Edin Terzic at Dortmund in the Bundesliga. As you may have seen in our pre-match build-up, the technical advisor. It's not a great tackle, and it's an immediate yellow card.
Yeah, and so it should be interesting to see whether he actually means it. It's a great turn there. Oh, he means it okay, and he hurts himself. Sharp turn there from Otavio. But you deserve picking up a yellow card.
You're asking me about this, well, VAR thing. I mean, you seem fascinated in VAR, how many people it takes to make a VAR decision. I've done a bit of delving. It's now up to 5. So you've got the video assistant referee, the assistant video assistant referee, the offside video assistant referee, the support video assistant referee, and the one that you'll appreciate the most, I think, the standby assistant video assistant referee. So you've got the VAR, the A-VAR, the O-VAR, the S-VAR and the SAR-VAR.
How many FIFA members does it take to change a light bulb though? I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. But particularly when they're not getting some of them right.
Yes, there is that. Been some truly perplexing moments in this World Cup already. World Cup that, by the way, Ali, is hurtling by. Once we finish the concluding game tonight, Brazil and Serbia, will in terms of matches played, be a quarter of the way through the whole thing. Andre Ayew is flagged offside.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how you feel about it yourself, Joe, but I always feel when the games are coming thick and fast, it does tend to go a lot quicker. I mean, 4 a day, obviously. And while we're enjoying every one of them, every minute of the tournament, it will slow down, I think.
Neves. Cancelo. Kudus. Iñaki Williams. Andre Ayew is arriving centrally. Aladou Seydou. Just a 5th cap for the Clermont fullback.
If he's 5 yards further forward, he might be able to hit that. Good play down the right-hand side from Seydou. And by Guerrero. Far too easily for the Portuguese liking.
Cristiano Ronaldo was caught after he dispatched the ball.
Was a free kick, but he's lucky to get it in the respect that they were losing possession.
Ruben Neves. Cancelo.
Gee, for the life of me, I can't believe he doesn't put his foot in and deliver a cross into the box. He's been disappointing for me this evening, Cancelo. He really has.
Not the Manchester City Cancelo.
No, by a mile.
Kudus. Ghana having a bit more of it since the break.
And it's interesting, Kudus is playing in more forward area, where I would like to see him. I think he's clearly more gifted in forward areas. So why would you not move him more forward?
Too many really clear moments of opportunity for Ghana in this game so far, but this is one. Salasubi. Seydou.
That's optimistic.
Otavio.
I mean, that's slack as well. It's not a difficult ball.
Danilo. Ayew. Ayew, whose younger brother Jordan remains on the bench, and of course he played against their father.
Brilliant. Abdeli Pele. What a player he was on the left-hand side. And a fantastic Marseille side. They won the Champions League.
Three-time African Footballer of the Year.
He played up front with Vink Boksic and Rudy Voller and that Marseille side. They were a brilliant team. Very fortunate to win the Champions League that year for football.
Here's Ronaldo. Looking for opportunity, looking for an angle. Finding neither.
Just can't get out his feet. It's good defending. In fact, it's excellent defending, but Ronaldo will be looking to get a shot away there.
Mohamed Kudus. It's a greater belief, a greater purpose about Ghana.
That's it. It's not difficult. Get yourself into forward areas. I mean, he's been sitting in that midfield three, and for me, he's wasted. Set before the game. I like him. He's got something, absolutely, particularly a lovely left foot. Goalkeeper's probably got it covered, but it's their best chance so far. Certainly asked a question. Not sure he had actually. I might be taking that one back, but it's the first time we've seen him really open his legs, get forward, and there you are. It's the encouragement they needed.
Does this back to you as a former manager of something that's been said in the dressing room, something that's been specifically addressed?
Yeah. Even before the game, I can't understand that. I mean, it's like playing somebody for me out of position. And I've read reports that Kudus himself says, you know, I see myself as a midfield player, this, that, and the next thing. You might see yourself as a midfield player, but if the manager and the coach doesn't see you as a midfield player, get yourself further up the pitch where you're a goal threat.
Well, Otavio was the player who's been receiving treatment, and it's he who's going to be replaced in the first substitution of this game. The considerably more experienced William Carvalho is going to get the first taste of his third World Cup. It's a midfield player. He'll slot in alongside Ruben Neves. Pleased to be in a far more accommodating looking group than they were at the Euros when they were in with France and Germany. And they made it through to the round of 16 as one of the best third place teams. That is a foul by Seydou, and he becomes the third Ghana player to be cautioned.
He's not happy. He made another look at that. He's livid, in fact. there. Come on.
And the arguments didn't stop with the words of the referee, because actually some Ghana players have actually come racing in, led by Daniel Amati, to lead Seydou away before he says something out of turn to the referee.
I think he's got case, does he not? I don't know what that's all about right enough. There's no need for that. The best way you could describe it is João Felix certainly saw him coming and made the most of it.
But it's led to further discussions. The production of the yellow card immediately for Seydou. His name now written upon it by Ismail Elfaf. And I think just a word to say, look, you absolutely pushed that to the limit in terms of nearly getting another yellow.
Yeah.
You can see he's upset with what he feels is the injustice of it all. However, you cannot and shouldn't be reacting like that. I mean, that's crazy, that. I mean, oof. Yeah.
Let's get a word from former Premier League referee Peter Walton. Peter, how did you interpret those two incidents, really? The foul and then the response to it from the aggrieved player?
The foul was just an innocuous foul in itself, and really the reaction from João Felix is the one that's raised the temperature here. João Felix was the protagonist in this instance, and the Ghanaian guy can count himself lucky that Ismail Elfaf has just given him a warning rather than a second yellow card for the aggressive attitude he adopted. So he's a lucky man, and I'm sure he'll be on his warning now.
Thank you, Peter. There's William Carvalho.
I'm just wondering there, and I might be totally wrong, and it wouldn't be for the first time, whether the referee decided against a second yellow card because he might not have been convinced at the first yellow card.
Which is not how it's supposed to work.
No, I didn't say it was, but I'm only trying to look at some logic there.
Preparing a substitute, but they give him the ball away. It's Bernardo Silva. A clear chance to play Bruno Fernandes in. Cancelo.
I mean, that's another poor pass from Cancelo. I mean, it's just a simple, straightforward pass.
Salisu, the defender. Nothing doing from the officials.
No, nor should there be. Man's trying to buy one there. Salisu just standing his ground.
It's going to be a double change. Tarek Lamptey of Brighton and Osman Bukhari, who plays for Red Star Belgrade in Serbia, being readied. One of this core group of players who agreed to switch allegiance. Wasn't England under-21 international, only made the switch in July. A hug and a pat on the back from Otto Addo, his coach, down below us at the moment as he gets ready to come on. Well, sometimes a bit of spikiness helps the game in general.
Well, I'm hoping that's the case.
Bruno Fernandes. Danilo. Rafael Guerreiro. João Felix. Cristiano Ronaldo. Penalty! agree. But Ismail Malthath is the man, and he has pointed decisively in the direction of the spot.
Well, the first thing I've got to say, I don't know why he comes across and gives him the opportunity. He's getting away from the goal. Looks like he definitely gets it to first, I beg your pardon, Ronaldo. There's the toe. Or is it Salisu? It's a difficult one to call. They'll certainly have a look at it. I'm thinking to myself, when Salisu comes across, he knows Ronaldo's going away from the goal, so he's not going to do anything, surely, to give him an opportunity of giving away a penalty.
Well, clearly every incident in a game is looked at by the VAR.
Yeah.
Only some are upgraded to full checks, and we're getting no notification of that being the case here. The protests have been lengthy and vehement. But as the dust clears and the focus descends, it does so on one man. A moment to capture, possibly for posterity. Not the player he once was, but still the player that most others would simply love to be. Several deep breaths. Player of unbreakable confidence. It is Cristiano Ronaldo, still box office. He ranks his own headlines, makes his own history, and he is the first man ever to score at 5 World Cups.
What a line that is. Incredible. 5 World Cups. And you know something, a little bit like Gareth Bale the other night, John, there was just something inevitable about the end result. Doesn't take any chances in the respect that he puts plenty on it. Beautifully struck penalty. 5 World Cups. That's some achievement. It really is. You know something? Ronaldo definitely gets to the ball first. But that's how tight it is. I've had to look at it 3 times. I've got to go after look at that 3 times. He just gets a toe to it. But what about this? Wow. Yeah, it's the pace. It's the pace more than anything that beats Atizigi. Really is. Goalie obviously can't dive up the way, a little bit of elevation on it. Perfect penalty. And you touched on it, what an achievement that is. We might never see that again. 5 World Cups, incredible. And having watched it myself now for the 3rd, 4th time, it's only now I can definitely say he did get his toe to it first.
Well, statistics barely do him justice, but it's a record extending 118th international goal. It's the 819th of his career. And I would venture to suggest, given the circumstances and the events of the last few days and weeks, probably one of the most welcome.
Absolutely.
And in the midst of all that, substitutions were made as Ghana try and find an immediate reply through Iñaki Williams. And the significant entry of Tariq Lamptey in the wake of that goal. Born in Hillingdon to Ghanaian parents, was at Chelsea, now very happily at Brighton. Former England under-21 international who must have thought long and hard before committing to the Ghanaian cause, bearing in mind how highly rated he is, or was, in the English setup.
Yeah, not an easy decision to make, clearly. I'm not for one for telling people what to do, but if I was Otto Addo, I would seriously be thinking about moving Kudus up front. I genuinely would.
Lamptey came on for Sadu. Let's get another word from Peter Walton. Peter, you've seen all the replays of the penalty. What's your take on that call and indeed any potential involvement from VAR?
Well, I'm looking at it now and I can see that Ronaldo does get to the ball first, and it's the thigh that of the Ghanaian defender that takes Ronaldo down. VAR did look at it, but they need to have clear evidence to the contrary of the on-field decision to make any suggestion to Ismail Elfath that he made a mistake. There was no evidence to say that Ismail was wrong there in giving that goal, and therefore a perfectly good goal, and it stands.
Once again, thank you, Peter. Salem. Partey. Thomas Partey. Thought only of glory.
Yeah, leaning back on it. There you are.
How do you put it into any sort of context when no one's ever done it before?
No. Unique is the only thing you can say. Really, it's an unbelievable achievement. You think of the great players that have played at World Cups in yesteryear.
Yeah, Pelé scored at 4.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the Pelés. That's obviously the best. We're talking about the greatest.
Obviously Messi.
Yeah, quite remarkable.
So we've just shared a moment of World Cup history.
Absolutely.
Here's Lamptey.
And as crazy as it sounds, I'm actually glad that it looked a penalty now. I would hate, well, I wouldn't have hated, I would have been disappointed for him to get that record with a big question mark over whether the penalty was legitimate or not.
I haven't made the point to you already, I shouldn't have to repeat it, that we do have a VAR, an AVAR, an OVAR, an SVAR and a SAVAR, so they ought to get it right.
Taking things far too far, actually.
It's a challenge for Ghana now.
Yeah, it really is. Just getting back to the goal, and you correctly mentioned about the importance for Ronaldo, but clearly, and I know it hasn't been affecting them, and I know they haven't been talking about it. The Portuguese manager we spoke about, Fernando Santos, said his players haven't been talking about it. Fernandes said they haven't been talking about Ronaldo's situation, and I don't doubt they haven't. However, it's been hanging there. It's been hanging over it. So if they can get away from tonight's game with a 1-0 victory and a goal from Ronaldo, wow. But there is, of course, a minimum of 20 minutes still to go.
It's Uruguay next for Portugal. They finish off against South Korea. Uruguay and South Korea failing to produce a goal a little earlier today. That Ghana have got ringed in red is their meeting with Uruguay because of the dramas of what happened back in 2010 in the quarter-final.
Was that the game?
Luis Suarez handball on the line deep in extra time, preventing a goal. It would, in all probability, have taken Ghana through as the first African team to reach a semi-final.
Absolutely. And one thing I remember about actually being at that game, John, the entire African continent were in total support of Ghana. Never seen anything like it.
Some of the Ghanaian greats of yesteryear, among them Sully Muntari, who are watching tonight. And a nice story, although one born of sadness, the Charlton goalkeeper Jojo Wallacott, who was due to start for Ghana at these finals and then broke his finger in the warm-up of a Charlton match 10 days ago. Has made the trip over to be with the squad for a few days and to support them.
What a touch that was. Beautiful.
And it's Kudus setting himself. And he struck that ever so sweetly.
That's magnificent hit, that. Magnificent. All started from a lovely piece of skill in the middle of the park from Thomas Partey, a little back flick. Ball came into Kudus and he met it perfectly. I think he was ever going to trouble Diogo Costa to go straight at him, but keep saying it. In forward areas, he looks a threat. Again.
And it's Kudus that's in. And Andre Ayew! Ghana level! Portugal have walked straight into the counter-punch.
Nothing worse than somebody saying I told you so, but however, I mean, he's just a different player further up the pitch. John, he really is. He's wasted in midfield. Don't believe I'm saying that with Graham and Roy downstairs, but he is. He's wasted in midfield. He's got so much to offer in forward areas. Great cut back, low and hard. Gets through Danilo's legs, gets caught up a little bit in it. And Andre Ayew, as you would expect, a good forward following up with the simplest of tasks. It's as if the first 45 minutes, or even up until Ronaldo's penalty, it's as if there's been a lack of belief about Ghana. They've sat back, they've allowed Portugal majority of the possession. Unlike teams that have provided shocks, whether it's Saudi Arabia, whether it's Japan, they've actually played in the front foot. Ghana haven't until they lost that goal.
And that is the first goal scored by an African nation at this World Cup. Ayew, Partey. Just imagine what Ghana's players must be dreaming of now as being possible. Last week, Andre Ayew became the most capped Ghanaian player ever, appearing for the 111th time tonight. Third time he scored at a World Cup. 8 years since the last time. William Carvalho. Graham and Roy, I hear, are none too happy about your comments about Ayew being wasted in midfield. They texted you about it, not that you'll ever get it. Ruben Neves. William Carvalho. Rafa Guerreiro. Set up beautifully now, this.
Yeah. Certainly a very interesting final 15 minutes plus added time.
A couple more Ghanaian substitutes on the way. João Felix. Quite climbed the step ladder. Thrapa, the fourth official, overseeing the introduction of Osman Bukhari, who was going to come on earlier but then was held back, and also of Jordan Ayew.
That surprises me, that substitution, I don't mind telling you. Kudus coming off.
Ayew hoping to find a new home for the armband and taking his time over it. So it's Bukhari for Kudus, who set up the opportunity for Andre Ayew.
Brilliant, yeah. Pure forward, they're the ones you just absolutely adore.
And he's getting a proper roar of support as he comes off the field to be replaced by his brother. Doesn't look very happy to have come off, Andre Ayew. There's also a change by Portugal. Leao taking the place of Ruben Neves. Three of the players on yellow cards for Ghana have now been substituted, by the way.
Maybe not a bad idea.
Bruno Fernandes. It's through. It's 2-1. It's João Felix.
Oh, Barbara Ackman has one here, John. Oh, dear me. Brilliant finish. Excellent finish. Free ball has to get cut out. Has to get cut out. Taking absolutely nothing away from the finish. Takes a lovely touch. Delicate. Lift over at Ziggy. Nothing clever about it, just a simple pass here. He's onside. Oh, gets caught in his feet. Ziku's a little bit deeper than every day. I don't know whether it's him playing him onside. It might actually be Barbara Ackman himself. But the ball just gets caught in his feet. But the finish is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful finish. Just waits. Lovely little lift over the goalkeeper's right leg. Ati Zigi's committed himself. There you are. Lovely.
Well, at some point in the not-too-distant future, the next Portuguese generation is going to need to take over. And leading that band of players will be João Felix. Just the 4th time he scored for his country. And seconds after Ayew was replaced, he had a bit of a row with the coach, and as his back was turned, celebrating, so his goal was effectively negated.
Yeah.
Much better second half.
Oh, it's been miles better. Miles better. Disappointing first half. Frankly.
Can Ghana do it again? It's Partey. Jordan Ayew. Falls for Ronaldo, and now Bruno Fernandes. And Portugal have got numbers here with options either side. It's Rafael Leao. It looks like being Portugal's night.
By the way, what a goal it is. I've watched him. He starts his run from the halfway line. It's brilliant. Defender cuts across him, John. Attempts to foul him. He could have gone down. He didn't. He continued his run outside the defender. And of course, the way to pass is absolutely perfect for him. He hits. And boy, does he finish it well. It's a brilliant goal. It really is. A terrific goal. Now watch his run. Slackness already in the ball there. I think it's Jordan Ayew, but what would the way to pass here? Bang. I think he's onside. I think he's just onside. Tremendous.
Two minutes 15 seconds between.
It's a great goal.
Goals.
It really is. Tremendous goal.
And it's his first for his country.
I've got to say, I'm looking forward to seeing it again, because he starts his run. I think he gets blocked. A lot of players would have gone down. He carried on outside, and the way to the pass was absolutely superb. And the side foot finish equalled it. Terrific goal. Unhappy captain there.
Yeah, not terrific if you're Andre Ayew or anyone to do with Ghana.
Yeah.
You can fought your way back on terms to then ship a couple of goals in a couple of minutes. And it just further exemplifies the point about Portugal being at the stage where the next generation needs to step up, and there are signs that they are doing. Certainly in a couple of critical moments.
As I say, he starts his run maybe 40, might even be just short of the halfway line there. He keeps going. It's either Lamptey or Abdul Samed that comes across and blocks him. He keeps going and earns his opportunity and earns his finish. That's a terrific goal, really was.
Do we now have a fair reflection of the balance of the play or not?
Second half, yes. Yeah. I mean, you can argue Portugal definitely should have been ahead in the first half. but for the lack of quality in front of goal. But he didn't play particularly well in the first half. I felt it had been better. That's a tough one as well.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's in on goal. And one-on-one, Ati Ziggy comes out on top, and now the flag does go up, which was always the suspicion that it might.
I'd say it's always a suspicion. You can look. I think Ronaldo's a wee look at it. Yeah, he's offside. He has a look, doesn't he? There. Yeah. Good save, Ati Ziggy. He obviously can't do anything other than his best to save it, and he does. But they've been better second half. They've been more positive. They've looked a far better and bigger threat, Portugal.
Lamptey. William Carvalho.
See the problem Ghana have gotten out of the game's wide open. Absolutely wide open.
And João Felix goes down clutching his face after coming together with Salisu, and is still down.
Yeah, I think he might have caught him actually. Salisu's left arm comes across. João Felix tries to come inside him. Sticks his left arm up. There you go. Again, I'm not sure it wants that reaction, but I'm not on the receiving end of it.
Just to add a bit of perspective to this discussion we've had about the next generation for Portugal, when Cristiano Ronaldo scored his first ever World Cup goal in 2006, João Felix was 6 and Rafael Leão was 7.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
And Ronaldo is now both Portugal's oldest and youngest goal scorer at a World Cup.
Excellent.
Abdul Salem for Ghana. Triple substitution for Portugal's on the way.
Match they're still buzzing after that goal, John. Beautiful goal, really was. Weight of pass, everything to finish. Really enjoyed it.
It's a game that mercifully has blossomed in the second half.
Yeah.
Bukhari. Partey. Felix, let's see who he was trying to play in.
Yeah, you can actually feel it in the stadium. It's kind of knocked the stuffing right out of Ghana.
Babarakwan. Bruno Fernandes. Bernardo Silva. Leão just escaping him. It's an opportunity for this triple change. From the left, João Palhinha of Fulham. João Mario, Benfica, and rookie striker Gonçalo Ramos, also of the Portuguese league leaders. Ronaldo looks up, seems unsurprised, and whereas he's railed against being substituted on some occasions this season, not tonight, as he takes his curtain call.
No, I can guarantee you he'll much prefer getting off after the 3 minutes to go than coming on with 3 minutes to go.
Felix, another of those to depart. Cristiano Ronaldo has 4 days to rest up before he takes on Uruguay at Lusail. Biggest of all the stadiums here, and therefore the broadest of all the stages for him. Leao. Lapti.
He looks all right, Leao, doesn't he? He looks as though he's got something different. I know we're obviously talking about the goal and the movement for the goal, but I like the look of him. Something a little bit different.
So do Milan. They spent 30 million euros on him to buy him from Lille. Not without hope still, and there's Bukhari, and there's something to latch onto there.
Not half.
Not done and dusted, not by a long way.
Just holds his position at the back post. A brilliant run down the left-hand side. As Babarakman refuses to give up on it. Got to tell you, Cancelo runs by it. He's been poor tonight. He runs by it. He's got the thing covered defensively. Again, brilliant header, good finish. Goalkeeper Diogo Costa, absolutely no chance. None whatsoever. But defensively, Cancelo in that right back position. Be asking 1 or 2 questions there. Runs by the ball.
Well, what are the chances? To this point, as Ronaldo ponders the new complexion of this game, that Ghana will be wanting a nice big number on the 4th official's board.
Yeah.
And first, the referee has some sorting out to do. Ismail Elfath doing a reasonably good job to start with of getting between the warring factions.
Getting themselves involved there, Danilo. I don't know why. Having a heavy discussion there with Iñaki Williams. Seems to be okay now. I think they'll try to get themselves out of a yellow card here. Not sure it's going to work.
Usually once it's out of the pocket,
yeah,
it's a bit late. And the board has just gone up down below us as we watch this replay of the incident for 9 extra minutes.
Yeah. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Just kicks out. I don't think he touches him. Danilo goes down there. He's not touched him. He's trying to get the man in trouble. That's really poor. He did kick out him, however.
Yellow cards to both involved. Williams and Danilo. Ghana want to get 2 more replacement players on. Ghana wanted a corner. It's a goal kick that's given. But 9 minutes, that's plenty of encouragement for the Ghana team.
Yeah.
For Ghana, it's Antoine Semenyo of Bristol City. And it's Daniel Kofi-Kjære, Freiburg in Germany. Semenyo has struggled for goals for his club recently. He's not scored in his last 13 games. out of substitutions.
Very direct, good challenge. That's a lovely ball.
It's Lamptey. It's too strong for Semenyo.
It was. I'm not sure the better option might have been just taking it forward a couple of yards and hitting it himself.
And now time wasting is becoming an issue.
Yeah. I think he thought he was going to have a relaxing 7 or 8 minutes. Doesn't look to be the case at all.
I mean, life had largely gone out of the game at 3-1.
It had. But it just shows you lack of concentration in the right back position. Cancelo allows the ball to go back over his head. Abarakman does ever so well, gets a cross in. And a great finish from Bakari. And all of a sudden, we're in for a grandstand finish.
Bruno Fernandes is fouled. The way this is playing out, that 9 minutes is going to be extended by quite a margin.
Yeah.
It's edict from FIFA led by Pierluigi Collina. All lost time should be accounted for and made up.
Good ball.
Get it. Good challenge by William Carvalho, though.
That's a heavy touch from Kera.
Rafael Leao. Shrugging off Lamptey. Salisu. The spread.
Yeah, he should probably hit it himself, but I like him. Don't half like him.
Bakari. Diogo Costa didn't like the bounce. Didn't like the bounce at all. Bakari again. He was tugged back by Bruno Fernandes. That'll be yellow. And Bruno Fernandes is having a right old go at his goalkeeper.
Yeah. I can understand why.
Semenyo. Lost it.
It's just about getting the pace of the game, isn't it? I know he's just on, but he should be doing better.
Chapelinia. Rafael Leao. Chapelinia to Carvalho.
Well, a little ball inside there from Fernandes. He'll just take the sting out it. Going for a cheeky little nutmeg here. Earns a throw in.
Well, if Portugal don't win this, it will, in no small part, be down to their own carelessness.
Correct.
They opened the last World Cup with a 3-3 draw against Spain.
Tremendous game.
Guerrero. Bruno Fernandes. Painful one for Tariq Lamptey.
Yeah, he did the right thing there. I know he was trying to play it off him, but I don't think it played it off with such force in that area. Whoever gets what he wanted. It's a crazy foul they're giving away. Crazy foul. Oh, Daniel Armati there. I know he's having a go, but why would you put the challenge in against Gonçalo Ramos? Why would you? I understand the frustrating. You want the ball up the other end of the pitch, but you've just killed the game for another minute and a half. He's impressed.
Bruno Fernandes. Jordan Ayew. Still battling for what in the circumstances would be an unlikely point.
Yeah, good cover. Sitting a lot of them earlier, but good cover.
And Diogo Costa just having to protect the frame of his goal as Bukhari wondered whether his luck was in.
Wasn't sure, was he, Costa? He was not sure. And I'm looking at it and I think he fancies it. Bukhari. Wasn't initially sure whether it was a cross, back post or, but he definitely looked as though he'd gone for that near post, a bit of pace.
Portuguese throw. Fernando Santos, their veteran manager, by his standards, agitated moments. Tinkering, cajoling. Right, Ghana need to go the length of the field.
Yeah.
Certainly been a spirited effort. Was defiant in the first half. It's been more expansive in the second.
Yeah. They've just been a little bit short unless something absolutely dramatic happens here.
Salisu. Kere. Charge forward in hope and safe goalkeeping, Diogo Costa.
Yeah, they were delighted with that.
I'll put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. I mean, how far beyond the 9 minutes do you think we should be going here, bearing in mind this new edict? Because there's been a fair bit of time wasting. Now, what on earth is going on now? Referee being asked about a penalty as Ghana thrust themselves into the official's face, but what on earth were they playing
He doesn't see him behind him.
And now at the other end, it's Bruno Fernandes. And it's Leao in the most extraordinary finish here.
I can't believe that. I don't know what Costa's thinking about. I don't think he sees him behind him.
Just clutched the ball, and that should have been the moment that confirmed safety for Portugal, and it was anything but. Finally, Portugal have made it, but Ghana must be thinking of that moment that was offered to them in the dying seconds. The pinnacle point tonight, a World Cup record for Cristiano Ronaldo, as we take one last look at this moment of folly.
He slips, and Iñaki Williams slips. He's brilliant. He plays behind Costa. He cannot believe it. But he does everything right. He cons the goalkeeper to thinking he's not there. He slips at the last minute. I mean, that was ultimate drama.
Aye, 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 aye. Pinnacle moment then, World Cup record for Cristiano Ronaldo, accompanied by all the requisite theatre we've come to expect. Ghana made a real game of it, not once but twice, but the younger supporting cast saw Portugal through by 3 goals to 2.